in this video, I wanted to talk about something that I've gotten asked about a few times, and that's my opinion on therapy. And, it's no surprise. I'm all about emotional wellness. Like, this channel is about encouraging and supporting people as they go through everyday life, no matter what we experience, which will typically be an array of things as we go through our journey in life. Some days are more exciting than others. Some days are a little more difficult than others, but nevertheless, it's another day that we get to live. So, I want to go through a few of the reasons that I've found personally for, being in support of therapy. Some people have, different forms of therapy. Some people will go to a licensed therapist. Some people go to a spiritual therapist. Some people talk with family and friends as their, therapist. I do say when you kind of have those sessions, you do want to prepare that person and not just kind of dump on them or offload on them, but being mindful that they too might be going through or dealing with some things. So it's considerate to let someone know your intention for maybe a more weighty conversation. But so number one, I think number one reason is self-awareness and improved emotional intelligence. And so when you are in a form of therapy, whatever that may be, more than likely, if you're working with a licensed professional, a licensed therapist, you will talk through your emotions. You will talk through how you felt in different situations. And I think that can help you with processing it. That's one of the things that you will be able to work on is, processing those emotions that you feel, that you felt, and really just having some time for self-reflection. So that's the first one. All right, number two is stress and anxiety management. I think that's one of the benefits of therapy. You'll be able to manage your stress levels as well as, an anxiety that you may be experiencing through various situations in your life. And I think most people or therapists, they will suggest they'll suggest some techniques that you can use. And sometimes too, even in certain situations, it can be like breathing, different things like that. Maybe different. You can get breathing techniques. You can get stress management techniques. Some people, there's a technique I'll tell you about it really quickly. But leaves. I think it's called leaves on a stream. I'll link something down below. But that technique is, let's say you're feeling overwhelmed, right? And you're really just trying to clear your head. What you can picture, and it's really like a visualization, but what you can picture is the thoughts or maybe the things troubling you or whatever it is. You can picture yourself writing it down, or picture it being on a note or a leaf. And that thought, that worry, that stressor, that trigger, you can visualize it going down the stream, almost into the distance, like it's gone. And what that can do is it can help you release something, not where it's just like just stop thinking about it. It's but you might need some visual in your brain to help you stop thinking about it. So what you would do is you would picture that worry, that stressor, and you see it being placed on a leaf, or as it is, maybe you're like, I'm just gonna crumble it up and it's gonna go down the stream. But you see it leaving, and you can allow yourself to feel lighter, feel a relief of not having to carry that thought, acknowledging the thought, but knowing that you can let it go. And you just keep doing that for every thought that pops into your mind until it's reduced. I don't think the first time or so you're not going to have any thoughts, but until your thoughts that might be weighing on you are reduced, until they're reduced, and you kind of feel a little lighter after the exercise. But those are the things when I say, you can get techniques. Those are some of the techniques that they can teach you, that you can draw from and pull on. And also too, with that part of stress and anxiety management, you can also shift your perspective. So maybe there's something where in your own mind, right, left to your own self, you thought you were 100% right. or somebody was 100% wrong. And sometimes having a neutral third party, that's why you gotta be careful with friends and family, but sometimes having a neutral third party that does respect confidentiality, you can talk through some of these things, and really get an honest opinion. Like, okay, well, yeah, I'm very, they might acknowledge, like, I'm sorry that happened to you. Have you considered, though, that maybe X, Y, and Z? And that might help you process that. And you might actually form a new perspective. Maybe. You might not, but maybe. And also, too, talking through some things before something gets heavy or too much, you can actually prevent burnout. I got distracted by the clouds. They're so pretty. But you can actually prevent burnout in your life, in whatever situations that you may be in. Being able to talk through different scenarios, being able to identify things that could spiral out of control in advance. That's very helpful. That's one of the benefits of therapy. And then also, too, I've said it before. Let's say it together. Boundaries. You learn about setting boundaries properly, maybe where you missed opportunities in the past to set boundaries, but going forward where you will, set boundaries and enforce them. So that can be very helpful for you going forward. So now I'd like to go to the third one, which is healing from your past. Now, people love to throw the T word out here because many people do have traumas, but you might just be healing from past experiences that may not have been traumatic. Maybe you did not have a trauma-ridden childhood. So that's why I just want to say healing from your past, because you don't have to go through something horrendous or horrific to decide to go to therapy or to get counsel from someone. It doesn't have to be something horrible. It can just be something that happened in your the way back past, or something that happened in your most recent past, or something that you're currently going through. So whatever you need to heal from, and that person, people, you can get guidance on processing that thing, those things, those people, that time in life. You can get a lot of guidance in that way. So there's a little more. And then also, too, I think if you do have triggers around something, this is something that can help you reduce those emotional triggers. So you will be able to get past the thing that might be debilitating, the thing that might be a downer. It might be something that causes the anxiety, the rapid heartbeat, or the worry, or whatever. You'll be able to reduce those things. Okay, and then number 4 is improve your relationships as well as your communication. And communication is so big, and we all know that relationships are important. And in order to have good relationships, we need to be able to put time into it, and we need to be able to connect with people. So in putting time in and connecting with people, the more efficient, the more effective our communication is, I think that determines the quality of our relationships. So you can pick up some effective communication skills or tips. I think I talked about it in a prior video, how you can communicate how something makes you feel. So let's say, I think I talked about it in another video, but I think I gave the example of someone interrupting you when you talk. So you could say, when you blank, I feel blank. I'm gonna put the phrase here, I'm messing it up, but basically you're able to talk through, not pointing at the person, but you're saying, this is how I feel when this action takes place, typically by the other person. And I'd like and what your expected outcome is maybe I'd like for you to wait until this or that. So I think the example I gave was, I feel disregarded when you talk while I'm talking. And it makes me feel like you don't care about what I'm saying. So I think that was a good example of how you can improve your communication skills and really help someone get an understanding of why do you feel like that? Why are you saying that? You know? So, and then also too, just overall, being able to talk through different situations, being able to share your emotions, how something made you feel, how you process something, I think, and maybe to some extent, not that you want a yes man or a yes woman as a therapist or as a counselor or as a friend, but you can feel like, okay, I knew I wasn't, you know, tripping. People say it all the time. When somebody validates an emotion or a feeling that you have, because you might think like, am I crazy? Well, not crazy, but am I thinking about this incorrectly? You know, you might really have those concerns, but that can raise your self-esteem where you're like, no, I am a sane person. I did notice something there, and I did have confirmation on that. So it can boost your self-esteem in that regard as well. So the last one, number 5, I think if you decide to get some form of counseling, some form of therapy, one of the benefits, and this is the 5th and final one that I'll mention in this video, is clarity and purpose in your life. Not that you can't have it without it, but you just might get a clearer view of what you want. Talking through your experiences, maybe you talk through your childhood, and also too, every therapist, every counselor, they might not always get to what you're thinking is a breakthrough in the first conversation, in the second conversation. So it's just a matter of going through the process. Sometimes people say trust the process, and I think sometimes with therapy, that can be something that you might have to do. It's not going to be a one-time thing sometimes. So just knowing that, I think that can help you as you go forward in your life, in your pursuit of a better you, if you choose to go down the path of therapy. Just knowing that it might not be a one and done. You might be a consistent, you know, virtual therapy goer. You might actually be someone that goes in person. You might be someone that goes in a group setting. I don't know how effective that would be if you have some things that you're not comfortable sharing around others, though. So just do what works for you if you choose to do it, and know that with number 5, you know, you might be able to identify some of your core values that maybe you needed to talk through with someone, as well as help with feeling confident in your decision making. Maybe going through life, you have not been able to, you know, make decisions as easily as you'd like to. So that's something that you can definitely grow in. You can definitely, you know, improve a lot of yourself with taking that first step of maybe identifying someone. Yeah. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about. I got a couple, you know, reach outs, and I thought I would make a video on it. I thought it'd be helpful. And I do want to say that sometimes the purpose of you deciding to embark in therapy or embark in counseling, it's not to be fixed, you know, but it's more so maybe you just want to heal and you just want to grow, and you don't want to have any mental baggage or emotional baggage that, you know, just comes up at random and, you know, sets you back, or you know, just is a hurdle. You want to clear those things away, and, you know, maybe that's your reason, but it's not to fix you. We sometimes can think that it is for more serious medical things why someone may do that, but it's not to fix you. It's to help you heal yourself intentionally, and for you to grow. Maybe, you know, maybe you would have reached that point anyways, but it can maybe accelerate the growth and the healing and you're able to get, you know, tools, insight, and as well as some support. So it's something to think about if you've been thinking about it. There's a lot of services out there. There are individuals that, you know, advertise themselves. So I wish you well. If you haven't subscribed, if you enjoyed today's talk, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Please hit that like, thumbs up button, and you can share it, leave a comment. Like I mentioned, I love reading your comments. You can share it to someone that maybe y'all talked about this in light, and you think some of the benefits that I mentioned are good, and you know, you want to send them the video. I think that'd be great. Yeah, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye.